Let's start with head coach Shauna Green. Go ahead with questions when you guys are ready.
First and foremost, go ahead.
The obvious question, what can you share about Jen's status?
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, she practiced a little bit yesterday, and she should practice today, so all good. I don't foresee anything of her being out. So
how big of a scare was that for you when your only point guard is out on the floor in Madison?
I don't know why. Like I went out there, but I didn't totally freak out. Like sometimes because I saw it was an ankle, and she does her ankle a lot, so I kind of have seen it before. So, and then when Autumn tells me, I think she's okay, then I don't have to stress as much. But I mean, it's always obviously for any player, and she was grabbing it I saw it happen and she was grabbing it right away. So it's always scary, and but you just don't want to freak out too much, because I also know at that time our players right now are very sensitive to anyone that goes down, because we don't have that many players. So I wanted to try to stay calm for them, knowing that we still had a lot of the game left.
It also strikes me she's kind of a tough player. I feel like we have these moments with her a time or two a season, and she's back the next game. Is that fair? Or?
Yeah, I mean, she is tough, no doubt about it. And she sprains her ankle, and she has had this, happen a lot. So Autumn's great at, getting her back. I mean, credit her. Credit Jen. She's been in there, the training room, nonstop and putting the work in the rehab. So, is she 100%? I wouldn't say that. But, yeah, Jen's tough, and if she can be out there, she's going to be out there.
When you got to watch the film on Sunday, you put KB on that island for 40 minutes against Sarah Williams.
Yeah.
How big was it to not have to double?
It was huge, and I think I said that after, and then rewatching it and looking at it more, and I actually told our team that yesterday in film, for them to understand how important it is and what it takes and how great of a job KB does when we can just go one-on-one, because teams that have struggled against him are when you have to double and you have to pull someone else in, and they're so good because they're used to her being doubled, so they're so good at making skips for shooters, they're so good at passing out the double, and we didn't have to do that, so we didn't give up a lot of threes, and that's key. When they beat Michigan and they've had their big wins, they've shot the three really well, and that comes off of doubles. So credit KB. She's come so far with her defense. I think of her from our first year to now. It's just an unbelievable growth in her post defense. It's amazing what she does.
How far has Jazz come as a secondary facilitator for you guys?
Yeah, I think she's come a long ways just in her confidence. The ability's always been there, but it's also, like I said, it's not her primary position to be a true point guard. And I thought she did a great job when Jen went down and was out for the whole fourth quarter. And Jazz just seamlessly just transitioned over, and they're pressing and did a really good job. So could not be more proud of her, and just shows really the type of person she is. Whatever the team needs, she's willing to do, and even though maybe that takes her out of her comfort zone a little bit, again, she's the ultimate team player, and she really just wants to win, and she's done a great job with it.
This 6-game winning streak, just what have you maybe learned about your team over this stretch, especially with the injuries that you've had?
I just think the continue just resilience of them. We've won in different ways. We've made 11 threes, or we've not made, hit shots and won with our defense, won ugly. Like I said, sometimes it's pretty, sometimes it's gritty, sometimes it's a combination of everything in between. But I think they just have a lot of confidence in one another right now, that they know when, if other teams go on runs or it gets tight again, that we're gonna make a play, and we're playing really well together on both ends of the floor. It's not perfect basketball, but the game is not a game of perfection. It's a game of mistakes. So who's going to respond quicker? And I think that's where we've been elite. We're responding to some of the mistakes a lot quicker, and able to rebound from that.
Speaking of confidence for Brenda, just coming off of the Maryland game and then to have it back-to-back performances, what can that maybe do for her moving forward in this team moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely huge. If she can score 8 to 12 points a night and defend like she's been defending, rebounding, I mean, in the first quarter the other night, she got us 4 offensive rebounds, or in the first half, 4 offensive rebounds just herself of extra possessions, and we score off of them. So, her ability to get us extra possessions now, the confidence she's having shooting from 3, the confidence she's having just even scoring around the rim, it's absolutely huge if she can continue to play like this, and I know she will. She's understands, she's a senior. I really do think that she's just playing with a great level of freedom right now and confidence.
How have you gotten this team to defend at the level you want and stay relatively out of foul trouble with the short bench?
I think a lot of it just comes with experience, to tell you the truth. I think we fouled a lot more my first year and even into last year. I just think that they've really understood. They've bought into our philosophy. We've always defended at a high level, but I just think now it's the experience of whether it's KB and post defense or our guards. Dal and Jess had their moments with some foul trouble, but Jen just really understanding when you really can't foul and when you can be a little bit more aggressive, and that's veteran just play and poise with them.
Dal had like 5 or 6 assists at Wisconsin. Can she be an in the pinch playmaker, facilitator for you guys?
Yeah, she's gotten a lot better with that. I think that's just confidence with her ball handling, confidence with now, and that's kind of that next step, right? When you're scoring and she's added the next step of not just being a driver, now she's hitting threes. I think that, again, that's the development in our player development. And the next level is making your teammates better and being able to hit the open guy. And she draws so much attention on her downhill drives, and we run so much action for her to get downhill. Now she's really taking advantage of either the post showing up and being able to hit KB on the dive and or hitting for spray outs to get some open threes.
You see focal points against Penn State?
It's really our 3 battles that we have every game, but are very, very important in this game. Obviously, they press, so taking care of the basketball and valuing possessions are going to be big. They want you to play chaotic, and really, they're everywhere. We got to play with poise. And then rebounding. They score a high percentage of their offensive rebounds they put back. They have a 6'6" kid that's really, really hard to move. She's unbelievable hands and a great sealer. So we got to be really strong inside and keep them. They want to score in the paint. The majority, we got to make sure we're keeping them out of the paint and IDing the couple shooters that they really, that we don't want to get going.
You talked about it with Brenda. How much of an outlet can offensive rebounding be for her to get either easy buckets for herself, or I think Kendall had 5 just off her offensive rebound? Yeah,
it's a game changer, and that's why I think Bren's been kind of our X factor. I always just say Dell was our X factor. I think Bren's our X factor. The hustle plays, winning 50-50s. She's done that now the last few games. She's literally, whether it's diving on the floor for a loose ball to get us another possession, or getting an offensive rebound, or hitting a big 3, she's kind of been that person that's been consistent in their effort, consistent, and again, doing the little things, which we call winning plays. She's been a lead at that.
What's that like for you to see? You've known her forever and know how tough last year was for her to see her have this. What's that for you?
It's great. It's why you coach, right? Last year was hard. It was hard on her. She dealt with different injuries that really just didn't. It just wasn't her year. She had some good games, but her first year here, she was great and was a huge piece in our NCAA tournament appearance. And now her being a senior and really just being healthy and getting back to just playing, this is the best basketball she's played in her career, and seeing her play with confidence and having fun out there and the joy she's having right now, it's why we do what we do.
With a month left, Shauna, does the triple bottom mean anything for you guys? Is it on board going, we can do this?
It means a lot in terms of just if you look at the makeup of our team, right? And if you could get that, that's absolutely, that's huge. But we're continuing to take it one game at a time, and that's been my focus with them. I haven't necessarily talked to them about that yet because, again, we believe in the process and then the outcome takes care of itself. And I don't want us to get too high, get too low. I don't want us to start thinking too much into the future. So really just trying to stay in the moment. But that would be obviously a huge advantage.
It seems like teams still haven't really adjusted to Dow being more of a mid-range 3-point threat. Are you expecting that at some? That would seemingly open the drive.
I think they'll probably still continue to play the numbers, and she's such an elite downhill driver that, if I was playing her, I'd still say you got to keep her in front. You don't let her get by you. But you also have to get a high hand and respect her shot now. So I would think teams would come out a little bit more, but they're probably still looking at the numbers of it all. That's fine with us. Keep going under, keep leaving her out there because she's shooting the ball with a lot of confidence right now.
Just one more about Jazz. What's required of her day to day, whether it's on the court or with you or Calamity, to be able to pick up this point guard deal as quickly as she has?
Yeah, I mean, it's again a process, right? Day by day. I think the more experience she gets every day in practice, seeing how Jen does stuff, seeing how we do things, just every day kind of gets a little bit more comfortable with it. And then even like the other night, that was a great experience for her. Like, no one wanted Jen to roll that ankle and be out, but that was a great experience to get in game where Jen was not coming back in that game. And we all knew that, and she just ran the team. And so those are moments that I just think are continuing to give her that experience to develop and evolve as a player, from the basketball perspective, and then also just the leadership perspective of it.